Hello, welcome to episode 4 or 3. I don't know what we're calling this, 3 or 4,
One of
uh,
the two.
of the Full Cap podcast,
After it's one of 3 or 4.
an Overwatch podcast. So I'm your host, Nacho, as always, joined by Hockey down here. Hi, Hockey.
I'm over here,
Joined
right?
by DJ over there. Hi, DJ.
You pointed in the very wrong direction.
Oh,
Very wrong
my
direction.
screen looks straight. Whatever.
It's gonna
Anyway.
be great.
Yeah,
That'll be perfect.
throwback to the first episode. So anyway, we've got a lot to do today, but first, if you're new here, I would appreciate a subscribe from you, or at the very least, a thumbs up. That's awesome. It helps us out a ton. We're already doing really good, views wise
No.
and subs wise. So thank you guys for that who watch. But also, follow the Twitter, follow the socials. It's a good time out there. So with
They're
these
linked in the
games starting up,
description. Linked in the description.
links in
They're
the
on your
description, of
screen right
course.
now. They're on your screen. You can't click them yet because we don't have that. We don't have that ability yet. But you can go to the
Okay, cool.
description. You can click on them, and then you can follow all of us.
And with the games going on soon, then it'll be a lot of fun out there with us live tweeting that shit.
Specifically, Nacho live tweeting it.
Yeah, mostly me. I'm the one with no life. So
I don't use the brand Twitter account.
DJ's too scared
Yeah,
of being
that's-
horny on the brand account.
that's fair.
I'm
'Cause,
horny on private enough.
I already do it. Yeah, it's fine.
Here,
We got a lot to
very
talk
off
about
topic.
today, though.
Very
Tons
off
of,
topic. The
there's
Pokemon.
a lot of things to get
tweets.
to today.
The
Yeah,
Pokemon
lots of
tweets, bro.
tweets.
That's all I'm gonna say.
DJ responds to all of them, by the way. If you see those
I
Pokemon
am,
tweets,
I
look for
am.
Prom
I didn't know there were that
15E.
many.
Yeah, I saw one until DJ started commenting on them. There's like 30 of them in my TV now. It is
I
impossible to open Twitter in public.
Responding. I've stopped responding to them.
Well, now
So-
they show them to you on purpose because the
Yeah.
algorithm.
If you see
Anyway.
them, just look for a Prom 15E tweet. Sorry, off topic.
Yep.
Go ahead, Nacho.
Very off topic. It's fine though, but we got to talk about some roster changes, some potential roster changes, lots of rumors, and yeah, we want to get to Pickems at the end of this because games start next Thursday. So let's get to it. First things first, though, we just got confirmed today that there would be no new or no next beta. So no third beta for Overwatch 2. It's just going to be
No
radio
beta.
silence until October 4th when the game goes live. So
2 months.
Yep, I'm gonna pull up the
Kind
John Spector
of.
tweet here for everybody so they can see it. 2 months
Kind
until
of
the
woof,
Overwatch 2
you know?
launch. We know players are eager to dive in and have seen questions about the possibility of a third public beta. There will not be another beta. There is no more beta. John Spector came out and said it, which is kind of cringe, to be honest, but that's okay.
Well,
The tweet is on your
so-
screen right now. Just take a look.
My opinion right away is a little bit of each. So in one hand, it makes sense for the game itself because I feel like the second beta specifically, was not nearly as hype as the first beta, and it's going to probably hurt the launch of the game if you have another soft release beta type thing where it's like, okay, we've already seen this game 3 times now, you know so you need a little bit of build up to the actual release. So I get that. However, it's horrible for Overwatch League because these players still won't have any kind of ranked mode, any kind of ability to practice outside of scrims, which, as Dante said in one of his tweets, players on the bench, they just get left behind. Like they don't get to practice because there's no way you're getting scrim time if you're, that benched. So
Yeah, I mean, it's not
Rough.
not only that, but like a lot of pros aren't playing pickup games on, the beta. A lot of pros aren't playing, extra stuff outside of like scrims and stuff like that, right? So a lot of these players that are riding the bench, Carpe, probably aren't getting to play the game a whole lot. And like Dante says, it could be career ending for a lot of these players, which is crazy. Carpe.
it's tough.
You're the one who's been Carpe hate tweeting.
No, that's actually not me on the brand account. That is not.
No, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
It's everything's been me basically.
My thoughts
but,
on no new beta. To me, the biggest red flag about that sounds like there's not going to be another patch for Overwatch League.
Yeah.
Which, well, I'll bring it up now, I guess.
There's no guarantee of that. But
There's no guarantee, but we know right now they're going to be playing on an altered patch with no Moira change, no Mercy change. To my knowledge, everything else that came from that last patch is coming through,
yeah,
which
it's
is
Jotes.
the
the
Junker
Guardian
Queen
Angel,
shout
Junker
nerf or
Queen.
whatever. So
Yes, I believe that's coming through.
Yeah.
But if the meta ends up being Junker Queen for the last two stages, which is already being compared to Goats because nothing really dies in that
Jotes,
comp.
Jotes, 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 Jotes.
Okay. It seems like it's going to be very boring. No beta is really good from a marketing perspective, build up hype for the rest of like the actual launch of the game, but it's a lot smarter of an idea if the game isn't already being played at the highest level. Tier 1 and Tier 2 are already playing the game. Now why can't I?
So here's my thought on that. It's they have access, or they're playing this game. I personally like Junker Queen Goats just because I think it's fun to watch. I get to see Genji players again. Genji go burr. But I really do not I don't mind Junker Queen Goats all that much. Like we said on the last one, if you watched our contenders episode, there is actually some like dynamics that go into Junker Queen Goats, right? Like you think of original goats, you think of like all the different variations. We haven't seen those yet. So there could be a lot of really cool stuff coming with that we just haven't seen. And there's also just those, like these players have some pop off potential, and I think it's really going to be kind of cool to see how it evolves if we get stuck in that. But that's if we get stuck in it, and I know that a lot of people stopped watching during Goats because they didn't like it. So
yeah,
When you think about it though, I hate to cut you off, Nacho, but I just want to say this real quick. There really can't be too many iterations of it because we're down one tank. It's 5v5. There's a lot less that can go into a comp.
that's fair.
yeah. I don't know. It just seems like Owl has always kind of been a little bit different than uh, you know, contenders or ladder or anything like that when it comes to what works for them. And I don't know. I doubt that. I mean, I believe that yeah, we probably will see a lot of Junker Goats, some Jotes, when it gets there. But
God, I hope that
I
catches
don't think
on.
it'll be all we see. And I don't really care if it is because like I'm the same as you, Hockey. I don't mind watching it at all. It's fine. And
Um,
I do love a Genji meta. Like those are the most fun to me. So
Genji meta. Okay, but DJ said something interesting from a marketing perspective. Maybe not having a third beta is a good idea.
mhm.
Um, I think you're right. I think the Blizzard's thinking about it like this. They're thinking they want the biggest, most hype launch they can get at this point. They've had two betas. They had the first one was really successful, I think. The second one a little bit less so because they didn't really add all that much and it was just quick play. If Overwatch 2 doesn't launch with a competitive mode set up and ready to go, I think the launch is going to be very lackluster.
To be
But
honest, I thought that's what the next beta was going to be, testing the complete
yeah,
rank
the
overhaul
new yeah.
they were advertising.
But I think that hopefully that comes out just day one access to this new rank system. Fingers crossed. And then I also think that um they're doing what's good for Blizzard and maybe the hype of the game building it up. But I think they are kind of screwing over their own tier 1 league by doing that a little bit.
I kind of think they just must not care. Like they understand like it is where it is. It's
Hashtag
not really going to
contender
get
strike.
better. Yeah. Um. And honestly, like the viewership for Owl, it kind of is what it is. Like if you're still watching Owl, then there
Then you're
I
gonna
don't know
watch either
what
way
it's going to
probably.
take. Yeah. Like
Good
what would it
dedicated
take for
fan.
you to stop watching it? Honestly, because it's only the diehards watching anymore.
Yeah.
Um. And speaking of Owl, let's start getting into some of that because we have at least one not confirmed move or anything, but like an Overwatch League player,
Yep.
um, or former player. LFT Slime has announced that he is looking
Slime.
for a team,
Yeah, I'll pull that up real
um,
fast. Go ahead and keep talking
formerly
about it.
the Runaway Titans and the Florida Mayhem.
He was on Soul for a bit too, but then got gobbled up by Toby because that's what Toby does.
Yeah, I he was actually a player for me that I was hoping would go to Seoul over the offseason. When the offseason first hit, I was like, dude, get Twilight and Slime back together, put them on Seoul. It'll be amazing. Didn't happen, obviously, but I think it'd be really cool to see him in the league again. I think especially if the contenders meta does come around where you have double main support in some instances, like
Lucio
that would
pick.
be invaluable to have a really good Lucio specifically, but also just main support in general, and
I
someone
think
like Slime.
I think NYXL needs to sign him because they need a main support, not 3 flex supports.
No, the only support you need is a flex support. That's the point. They can
It's literally in the
flex.
name,
Yeah,
flex.
come on.
Yeah.
Okay, but they're not hiring full flex supports. They're hiring like, you know, what would I guess originally be considered like, I don't know. I remember back when supports were considered like main support, off support, like main tank, off
Main
tank.
heal, off heal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
main heal, off heal. Thank you. Main heal, off heal. Um, so they're kind of like hiring off heals instead of like someone who's a main healer per se. Dude, these Lucio guys, like, that's awesome. I love seeing Violet and Kilo on, or Violet, and yeah, on fucking Lucio. Sorry,
Violet
Finn.
and Finn.
Thank you, Finn. Violet and Finn on Lucio, but like, could I have Moth back?
No,
Can I
you
have
can't.
Can I have FD
No, he's
God
gone.
back?
He is one guy that is not LFT. Dude, FD God. If I think FD God should be back in the league.
I think there's a chance that he can get signed.
Oh yeah,
It's
again.
unfortunate that he got done the way he did last season, but
Mr. the Feed God
uh,
himself.
yeah. Regardless, he's not the one looking for a team. Slime is. So
Yep.
Yes.
where do we think
Yeah.
Slime fits?
New York
Most
Excelsior.
logical choice
No,
would
you
be to
did say
say
New York already.
New York. It could be, in my opinion, it's either New York or Houston. Neither of those teams have a solid main support player. New York is 3 flex supports in. Houston is 2 flex supports with a rumor of them losing one, which we'll talk about later.
Yep.
But either way, both those teams are in need of a main support player. New York needs it more, but
Yeah.
Houston
What
is another
about
team that doesn't need one.
Boston? You said Boston earlier, DJ.
I said it as a joke. They have faith in who's the other support?
Uh, they have just Crimzo MCD. Otherwise,
Crimson MCD. Yeah, I think Crimson MCD Faith has only looked better as the season's gone on. I don't think
Yeah.
Boston really need him.
good call.
Because when you
I
think
think
about it,
that's
your
fair.
main support's probably going to be your Lucio specialist at this point.
Yeah. Almost
We've
definitely.
seen, like, look at Shock. Violet's had a outstanding brig for how long? Last season he even played the Mercy. It didn't look good, but he could still play it. But
Yeah.
his Lucio has not looked comparable to like Funny Astro or
Okay, but
just like the
nobody's
top
Lucio's
Lucios.
looked
No,
comparable to Funny
well, has
Astros.
anyone really played Lucio like that this season?
No, well, Funny Astro, dude,
Like
he just doesn't miss right now. He's crazy
Funny
with it.
Astro just
He's
he
basically always
good at
been the
Faker.
best Lucio out there for as
Mechanically.
long as he's been playing it mechanically.
I would
for
not
sure.
say he's the best. I would say he was not the best mechanical Lucio in even the last season before.
Who?
FD God,
Who was?
100%. FD God's
No.
movement wise, FD God fucking slaps anyone else around.
Dude, don't you remember the All Stars game? They were on Rialto, and Funny Astro and FD God had like the wall riding competition during that
Oh,
game, and
the Lucio, it was real thing. They were just 1v1ing on walls.
I think
yeah,
on
and
okay,
Funny
okay.
Astro like ran over him.
Let me correct
Yeah.
my statement. Funny Astro has better aim. FD God has better movement. FD God's movement is insane how fast he goes.
I would have to see it again, but I
Well,
still think he
then
was above FD God. But not to say that FD God's bad at all, because obviously they're both cracked. But
Yeah.
FD God looked outrageous on Paris.
Yeah. I think FD God at peak is a better mechanical Lucio than Funny Astro. I think Funny Astro plays smarter.
You see,
maybe.
you just have to take that with a grain of salt because FD God went to Shock, and hockey's like the biggest shock simp in the world. So
I wasn't
I
a
want to
fan
see
of FD God
opinions
on
in the
Shock though.
comments about this.
I was not a fan
Someone
of FD God
comment.
on Shock because I liked Moth's playstyle better for Shock.
Well, of course, but Moth left. So
Yeah.
what are you gonna
L.
do?
what are you gonna do? Take that L. Yeah, Shock
Hire Funny
fans.
Astro.
They could have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. They
All
probably
right.
could have.
But
I mean,
Slime though,
Gladiators.
I think someone needs to pick him up fast. Someone needs to scoop him up.
Yeah, he'll
'Cause,
be an
like-
upgrade or a straight like only main support for a lot of teams. So
Well,
that'd
when
be
you
really
think
good.
about it, New York, they have Gangnam Jim, who's looked really good when he's played flex support, and before he was playing flex support, he was the main support player.
Yeah.
We've seen him play Lucio and Brig in Overwatch League.
Yep.
Isn't the top of Overwatch League, but we've seen him actually play it. We're gonna go into a Lucio Brig meta. That just kind of makes sense to me.
I think that Gongnong Jim is probably wow, I've brutalized his name there. Holy cow. Yeah, I think he is actually really, really good at the Lucio brig. So if you get Slime in to play Lucio with his brig, you're set. I think actually NY actually looks probably more solid than they have all season with that backline.
Yeah, they could potentially look pretty good.
Pick up a main support, look like a good team.
Yeah,
Coincidence?
shocker.
Imagine. So we've got a rumor,
I'll pull it
courtesy
up.
of our good friend, if you want to call him that, Halo of Thoughts. So there's a Dexerto article written by him himself that apparently the Houston Outlaws have been shopping around Pelican, Piggy, and Iris
Yep.
The tweet's on your
to
screen
other
right now.
teams. They have not been quiet about it. They have not tried to hide that, and uh, they couldn't move them apparently because I think if they could move them, they would have been moved. Or he's making it up. I don't know.
Source, I made it up.
Yeah, honestly. So there's a lot to unpack with that, I guess. Whether we
Do we
think
want to
it's
talk
real
about the
or
Dante part
not.
first?
Yeah,
So
I'll
okay,
pull up the
That,
Dante tweet if you want right now.
actually, actually,
well,
that's a
in
good
the
point.
article,
So in the article, uh, one of the mentions was that, or what do you say here?
He said
Dante
that
wanted to go
Basically,
Dante,
back to his
yeah,
traditional role of
yeah,
DPS.
Dante wanted to go back to his DPS role full time, and that
which
was what prompted this move. But
I
we can
couldn't.
argue that
Yeah,
Dante himself has spoken out about it
yeah. Well, Dante
and
himself
said,
has spoken out about it, and I'll pull that up right here.
He said
It's on your screen. He basically said he doesn't care what he plays. Stop.
he's been
yeah,
on the bench on multiple teams and has never requested a trade off said team that he's on a bench, which is either Shock or Outlaws. Those are the only two teams he's been on.
Yeah,
yeah.
and I mean, to be fair, I
So
do believe that he. It just doesn't sound like a Dante thing to do to be like, hey yo, kick these players off my team because like I want to play something out. Like that
no,
doesn't
and
sound right.
he had a second response to this. So basically, he said, if you think I'm selfish enough to try to get teammates traded because I'm not playing my favorite heroes, you're just a moron. I've been full out benched before and never asked for a trade. To think that I'd make a request to get rid of teammates for my own desires is just crazy. And agreed. Like I don't think that he would actually do that.
I think it's also
Um,
crazy to think that management would just be like, "Oh yeah, Dante says." Well, if Dante says we have to
obviously
get
we're
rid
gonna
of him,
trade Pelican then. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just
Um,
that doesn't track. That being said, they very well could be shopping these players around for other reasons.
yeah. And that's what I kind of wanted to get at. Essentially, like there's a world where they absolutely are shopping these players or had been shopping these players. Um, and there's probably also a world where if there was ever a conversation, in that front office or something, where they said, "Hey, if we trade these players, are you okay moving back to flex support full time?" And Dante, I
DPS.
don't think he would ever say like no.
Yeah,
Uh, but if that conversation ever got out, it could be misconstrued any number of ways. Including him being like, "Well, I want to be." Dante says he wants to be full time flex support again.
I think that
You
also
know,
comes back to the problem with a lot of Halo stuff. Is I don't mind Halo having leaks. Every sport has its leaks. Who cares?
yeah,
I think there's a whole debate on whether that's good or not. Yeah, but we can get into that later. Um, but I do think that there's a lot of misconstrued information or a lot of information that's taken out of context. So like,
misinterpreted,
yeah,
misheard,
misinterpreted.
whatever.
Yeah, or like the fact that he's saying that Dante specifically requested this trade, that just doesn't necessarily sound like Dante to me.
And the source straight up says no.
Yeah, and
So
Dante just goes, that's cap.
yeah. So yeah, I agree. Like I don't have a problem with leaks or reports on rumors and stuff like that. Um, but I do think that Halo is just a kind of horrible journalist. um, not a ton of integrity there, honestly. Like there's,
I wish I could say that was a bold stance.
it's not. I know, but it's like I don't know. He makes too many assumptions, and he makes I don't know. It's obviously he doesn't have all the context for everything all the time, and he just kind of runs with things. So I don't know.
What was the
It's
one he had recently where he said something, and then all the players were like, "That's cap," and he had to run it back. Was it Mag
Yeah, what
maybe?
was that? No, it was the Toronto one, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, the Toronto one.
Which we don't know enough about that. He was like, Muse
That
and
could have also
Finale
been.
don't want to. They've requested trades, and
Yeah,
Muse, Finale, and the Toronto GM were like, well, Muse and the Toronto GM were like, no,
used to be.
Muse did
Yeah,
not say that.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm not. I don't know. There's just
But Halo
yeah,
doubled down on that.
yeah. So we'll see what happens. Okay. It would be crazy to me to move Piggy, Pelican, and Iris. That's
The crazier part to me there is that they're keeping Lastro. Like the only reason I see them doing this is to move to a Western roster, but they're keeping one of their Korean players.
to be fair. If they're moving to a Western roster,
But keeping
Western
two
players have
because
been
they'd keep
fire.
Merritt too. Sorry, I talked over
That's
you.
what
Yeah,
I'm
you're good.
saying. Western players are good, so why are they keeping Lastro
It'd be sex big
if they're
dick.
trying to move?
No,
Yeah,
3 words.
That's
Sex big dick.
that's not a fair argument, but I
No,
respect
that
it.
is a fair
I
argument,
respect it.
dude. Okay, Lastro, dude, he's pulling down fines. He's pulling in viewers. He is actively bringing in people to watch the Houston Outlaws right now because they want to see what he's gonna say and do.
I
I th-
don't really believe that.
you don't think they want to see the guy who just flipped? He wasn't he the first one to flip
He
people
flipped
off?
the double bird. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
that-
think that you
I
see,
don't
oh,
think that's why
Houston
they watch
Outlaws.
the
Yeah,
Outlaws,
that's what I'm saying. I don't think I
but
don't wake up and it's like, oh fuck, Houston versus Paris. Oh my God, what's Lasher gonna say now?
okay, fair
I'm
enough.
not. No.
Fair enough.
well, you're the one. All right.
Dude, but I can totally I also just I am very high on Lastro as a player. I think he's an extremely good player. Who, if
Yeah,
I
he
remember
is.
right, also is he not fluent in English?
I think so.
I
I I
don't know.
I was
That's what
pretty
I thought I read
sure
that.
I'm pretty
I
sure
would
Outlaws
assume he
communicated in
was.
English. I thought they did at least.
I would
I think
assume he is
most
because
teams do, but
he
yeah,
was on that Valiant roster, which was a
Yeah.
mostly Western roster.
So
So I'd assume.
I think that having him doesn't necessarily mean you're not moving to a Western roster. I think that he is fully capable of meshing in with a Western roster.
But we know that on the Reign they spoke primarily English.
That's true.
And Pelican and Iris came from the Reign. And we know that O2, I think it was O2 or Talon, whatever team that fucking Piggy was from. We knew that that team was also fluent in English, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like,
It's just like, who are you gonna pick up that's gonna take over Piggy, Pelican, and Iris's spot? And also, who's not gonna? I guess if you're making them like a trio deal where you have to take all three, that would be hard to shop out.
yeah.
But like,
I can totally see why it was. They haven't moved them, and
Yeah.
there was nobody taking that offer if it was real.
if it's a real offer, that's a crazy offer to have on your table, though.
well, maybe the
You have to.
contract buyout is too much from
Well, that you have
Pelican
to be
rookie of the
another
year.
team that's ready to completely dismantle, and you like those players enough to do it.
Yeah, and I
And
don't think there's
the
any
only
team in the-
one I think most teams would be like, yeah, I'll take it, is Pelican, right? Like,
Iris. I
I
think
don't
they
see
take
that many
Iris.
teams.
Pelican and Iris, I think, are two who are really good. Piggy's a
As much
lot
as I hate
harder
to
to
say it,
argue.
I fucking love Piggy. Piggy going ham.
I love
but
Piggy.
I don't. I
like
think
Piggy
he's a hard
too.
sell right now.
No,
We've
yeah,
seen
a
good
lot of
things from the
teams are already
Sigma.
having tank issues.
To be fair, I think that if any roster was going to pick him up, it would have to be Vancouver Titans. If Vancouver Titans picks those three up, their roster gets
They're not going to
insanely
pick them up.
yeah,
It's clearly
gets
they've
so
gone with a
yeah,
budget.
yeah. Well, their roster gets so much better like that. So
Well, it's just like going over here. Who do we think like would need these players? Like every team in the league, pretty much, besides the bottom of the bottom.
You know
Like,
what?
don't
Paris.
really.
does-
Paris. I
who
don't know.
does
If
Paris
would really
drop for
need it.
them?
I mean, Don, Wub, and
I mean, they just got Wub.
There's
so I
no
don't-
shot
know,
you drop
Drop
Wub.
Wub.
it's not like they're committed to these players. I guarantee you, we're going to see an entire roster
clearly.
change for the Eternal next season.
You mean when they become the Vegas Eternal?
Exactly.
Well, hold on. Let me look at the Paris roster real fast. Dawn, Khan, Dredro, Vestola, Wub.
And I think the issue with them would be they don't have the money to pay for them right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I don't think you drop Dove or Wub. Maybe Dawn, but I mean, I'm very high on Vestola always.
Well, it's not. Yeah, true. I guess you'd have to drop Pistola because Piggy's an off-tank player. But so yeah, I guess maybe not them. But
Yeah,
That's what I mean. there's an argument kind of there, not a strong one, but that Paris don't need these players because they have solid players already.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Where it's like
What
Pelican
about
is
a
great, but
what about a rebuilding Washington Justice?
Again.
that's I think that Washington fixed their coaching issues and they already have on paper top Overwatch League roster.
Yeah,
On
exactly.
paper.
You look at their roster:
Eh,
Decay, Mag, Assassin, Happy, Vigilante, Krillin, Opener, and Kalios.
So maybe we'll come back to them then. Because yeah, they need to do something about that.
Well, and
But
that's a
yeah,
full Korean
I think
roster
this
too.
we will probably never know how real this rumor is about the Outlaws because it didn't happen, and I
Or
don't think it's
hasn't
going to
happened
happen
yet.
at this
Yeah.
point. I think if there was a team out there, if they were really shopping them around that much, if there was a team out there interested, they would have got it done by now,
Exactly. I don't feel like the
in
team
my
would be
opinion.
interested in these players at this point in the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that does kind of lead us into another topic here. Um, well, I guess we'll get to that at the end
Do you want me to pull up Halo's
later.
response to all of the? So a lot of Overwatch League fans were kind of going through and talking about Halo and his reporting and kind of how it's going and how people are perceiving him. And I'll just pull up the tweet from Halo here, saying that these fans are being hypocrites and he's he's not really interested in reporting on this anymore, which is like if this is him quitting again.
It is.
That's kind of how many times this happened. Also,
Yeah, do we
Twice.
I
believe
love
it?
that. I love that relevant people is also just bozo.
Yeah,
We got to keep in mind too that he actually did pretty much say that he's leaving. Last time he said, "If I get this prediction wrong, I'm giving up on Overwatch League," and then said third impact is going to Titans, which is
Mm,
just clearly not happening.
yeah,
He's like, if I stub my toe, I'm gonna leave Overwatch, and then just walks into a wall and fucking kicks his toe against a wall. Like the first time he pretty much said, "If I'm wrong, I'm done," and then purposely said something wrong. But then he came back, and now he's like literally saying, "The fan base is too toxic for me. I don't want to be a part of this anymore." Like he's specifically saying that he's done again. Like
also I think he definitely bred kind of the toxic fan base. Like you have control a little
yeah.
bit over like what you put out
he's
there. The
bald, by
kind,
the way.
dude, you can't say that. You can't just be like, yo, he's bald. I mean, you
Just
can't.
gets.
Actually, we're in
It's
America.
kind
No,
of
you can
funny.
say that. He's fucking bald.
Yeah, this
He's
is a free
bald.
country.
Yeah, this
Freedom of
isn't.
speech.
Where did they? So somewhere made it so you
Land of the
can't.
freehold of the
You
home of the
can't call
bald.
someone bald because it's like sexual harassment now.
It's like a form of sexual harassment, and then Apply
It's either
responded to him apologizing.
the UK or like
I think it was UK.
yeah.
Do you have a
Here,
license to call him bald?
no,
Yeah,
who
let's
said I'm
see
just
it.
not sexually attracted to Halo of Thoughts?
Oh man. All right.
To be fair, I think if there's any time he actually is going to quit, it's this time.
Yeah.
Really, because the backlash against
Because he
him
got
was so
ratioed so
strong
hard
this
by
time.
Danteh.
Because literally, yeah, Dante clapped his cheeks, man. Like it was rough, but well
Nice.
deserved. Like I think if you're gonna make a statement about a player like that, um, you better be really sure it's right.
And that's a
And
statement that can like actively hurt someone's reputation as a player.
yeah, I mean, it would actively hurt his reputation if it's true. Uh, and I believe Dante when I say that it's not true. Like, what else am I gonna do? Say Dante's a liar. Like, he's the one that says it. So, um, I
You
gotta get
always
that
favor
out
the
there.
player in this kind of situation.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like, yeah, I don't think it's fair to do anything else. So, yeah, I know. Do
Um,
we do we care if Halo's gone? Like, we wouldn't have as many leaks and rumors and fun stuff like that. But does that actually take anything away from us?
I think it does.
I care
I
about his
actually
leaks, but I'm not. Again, you said it's horrendous. I'm not. I haven't read too much of his journalism, but I'm
so
not the biggest fan.
I don't think necessarily Halo. I mean, if Halo dies, like if his Twitter dies, sorry, not if Halo
Okay.
himself dies. If Halo's Twitter dies, I think someone comes and fills his place. Like, for example, we've been given leaks that we're not going to say on stream, but like we've heard stuff from people who are in the scene, and like somebody's going to come out and say something stupid, They always do. Like
Maybe.
if something's gonna get said and done, it's gonna happen. And if people are leaking things, it's gonna be a constant thing. Somebody always wants to be that guy.
But
Somebody
when
always
Halo left the first time, did we really get someone who replaced him?
Yeah, we did. We got like
No,
3. There was like
nobody
3 people
wants to
that
be
popped up.
Halo.
No, like 3 or 4 different Twitter accounts popped up, and like they were fairly
I
correct
didn't see any.
in their leaks. Yeah, no, there was like 3 of them that popped up. One of them was just a funny like parody of Halo and was just tweeting bullshit, super funny. But then there were 2 that were like
Not real.
actually, I think there were like 2 or 3 that were actually like doing real leaks that were actually kind of
Okay, going back to
interesting.
the fake one, I just remember a fucking fake Halo account came back in like 2019, 2020 and said New York Excelsior player Mecco is being traded to the Outlaws. And then Halo responded to it saying, "This isn't true. This isn't me." And then like a week later, it was true. And Mecco went to the Outlaws.
Dude, that was the funniest thing. All right. So yeah, I don't think the scene is any less without Halo. But I do think it is a little bit less interesting without the leaks. I think they're fun. I think there's something interesting to look at. I think there's something interesting to speculate about. I think it builds a little bit of hype around the teams.
Yeah. Um, I view it as kind of like real sports or meat sports. In
Meat
the
sports.
NFL, you have the Adam Schefters of the world and the Ian Rappaports that will uh, they'll talk about things before they actually happen,
Yeah,
and
bestie,
and
go
that's fun.
off.
It keeps a lot of things going and moving and interesting um, over the off season, especially. So
Okay, I want to just
uh,
point out 2 things here. First off, you called them meat sports.
I did.
I just want to, bro.
That's that's a new level of dumb.
You're like, I'll call them sports ball, but like meat sports? That's, jeez.
Leave me
Competitive
alone.
masturbation.
Let's
Okay.
go.
All right. All right.
Tune in next
But the
episode.
second one is go off, bestie. I don't know who either of those 2 people are.
It's okay.
Are they the
I know
Halo?
nothing about
Are they the
this
Halo of
Yeah.
one.
thoughts of like apparently meat sports
Yes. For football.
for football?
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I follow
So it's
hockey.
essentially the same thing. Just journalists that get inside information from the teams and say, hey, it's rumored that this player is going to be going here or whatever. So that kind of stuff, you're right, is fun. It keeps it interesting. But the scene itself, yeah, it won't really hurt if they're not there.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you saw Reinforce's retweet of Halo, I think. And just says rumor has it that Houston Outlaws are in talks with Soul Dynasty over Danteh for profit 1-to-1 trade. Oh, that's so funny.
Uh,
Dude, I couldn't imagine.
Profit Pelican sounds nuts though.
Yeah, that
And
sounds nuts.
Dante in that soul jersey, Dante fits. Ooh, Sombra Ash. Smile.
Dude, that might actually be a good trade though.
For the Outlaws, not soul.
Yeah, no, for Outlaws it's great.
Yeah, give us profit, One of
Yeah.
the best players in history of Overwatch.
Outlaws get slightly better, and the Dynasty get a lot worse, I think.
Yeah.
All right. So, do we want to move on to our next thing here before we just keep speculating about stupid rumors?
So, yeah, because I think it kind of ties in a little bit anyway, because you're talking about the Yiska tweet, right?
Yeah. I'll pull that up right
Okay.
now. It is on your screen currently.
Okay. So there's a little bit of a thread to it, but essentially, I mean, I guess let me read it word for word.
I can read it out loud
Teams
for
have
you.
been active in the transfer market, and a bunch of deals are coming down the pipe. Keep in mind, some are seemingly short-term solutions for the season; others are long-term minded, which I think is important to remember. In some ways, preparation for season 6 has already begun. So, yeah, if this is true, then I think the Outlaws thing kind of checks out because I do think that a lot of teams have already started thinking about. It makes sense that halfway through this season, if they think, okay, we're not going to contend this season, we might as well start making moves for next season. Um, and especially if you're like relocating, like the Paris is. Um, so I can totally see how some of these teams that think, okay, I don't have enough points to make the end of season playoffs. Let's start moving stuff around. Let's start signing players from contenders. Let's, are we going to see cuts? We've already seen the rumors of the NYXL or speculated on that. I don't know if there's any actual rumors, but
Here's
yeah,
my thing.
there's a lot that could be going on. So
I think NYXL, as much as I would love to see them go to Western players, doesn't do it. I don't think they get there. I would love to see a lot of these teams start picking up Western Redbird players like Gig. I would like to see a lot of these teams because I mean, we just smoked that APAC. And I do think that a lot of these Western players deserve a shot in the Overwatch League that they're probably not going to get over APAC players anyway. So I would really like to see a lot of teams fix their rosters by going Western. Spoken like a
remind
true
me.
American.
Yeah, New York didn't pick up a new head coach, right? They just
Gesture is interim head coach because he was their
just
assistant
interim.
coach.
Okay.
To be fair, I think Gesture's going to make a fire head coach.
He might.
I think Gesture steps in and fixes a lot of stuff that's been going wrong. Or at least I hope. How about that? I think that's more fair. I think it's more fair to say I hope he comes in and does God's work.
Up until the tournament, I would have said that Toby was probably one of the best coaches in the league.
Yeah,
Former
100%.
players
I would
being
agree
good
with that.
coaches? Shocker.
So yeah, and even now, I would say he's
Well,
still really good. But I'm
I think the
honestly
bigger,
with that roster, how do you go wrong? But
I think the bigger question mark was going into a different game. How are players going into a coaching role gonna react to it?
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree. So let's
And I
see.
think the longer the player's been around, the better they did. Like Miro doesn't get enough credit for what he's done on the Spark. I don't know if he's head coach or not.
I
I know
think
he's the coach on that player,
I
on
think
that
he
team.
is. But
dude, I
guess I
remember
don't
when
know.
he was the best Winston in the world.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like a player like him who revolutionized the role of like what it meant to be a monkey player the first time. Someone like that is going to be really good to bring into a new game,
Yeah.
and it paid off. I mean, Shy's been doing God's work on that team too.
Hot take, very hot take. I wish XQC would come back just for a little bit.
No,
Just for a little bit. I think if he was
no.
by far one of the best main tank players season 1.
He's never gonna.
I know he's never going to, but he was so good and he was so fun to watch
For
because he
what?
was
The
just a
3 maps he
crackhead.
played.
I'm just talking in general, but like I just loved watching
You can
him.
go watch his streams.
I loved watching
Chingoon
him
is the
after he
head
played.
coach of Spark, by the way.
Okay,
Oh.
Chingoon.
All right, cool. I mean, I think that's all we have on leaks and rosters and stuff like that. Do we want to talk about maybe some custom rosters? Nice little transition there to the Ballsack Esports put out a tweet where he said you have $15, make a roster.
This was fun.
And I'm gonna be honest. That's all I'm gonna say. It was hard.
That's all I'm gonna say, he says.
Okay, I've got it pulled up here. It's on your screen right now.
Picture to look at it bigger. So
I got it pulled up. I know.
All right.
I liked a lot of the answers to these. There's a lot of someones going around, which I totally get. But to me,
I
guess
didn't
you
get
gotta
someone.
first of all.
I didn't. Oh, by the way,
about
sorry, just not to cut you off, but we did post this in our Discord channel, and a lot of people were saying anything. I specifically didn't put anything in there because I was just like, I want to see what everyone else picks. I've got my ideas, but I don't know what other people are gonna say.
Yeah, same. I never actually answered this anywhere. But right away, you have to look at what you're going to spend on, right? Like that's
Yep.
probably the first thing you should think about. For me, the thing that sticks out is like you want the best player available, and that's just proper, right? Like I think you just pick proper.
I think you have to
and go
just
from
pick
there.
proper. Yeah.
I
Personally,
didn't pick proper in
Unless you
mine.
really love Kevster or believe in
Yeah,
profit.
we should bring up L5s where he was like for hit scan and
You pick
flex
proper
DPS,
twice.
he picked proper and made it work. Like it was proper, Fixa,
okay,
and
to
Aim
be
God.
fair, if I could pick
And then
proper
someone,
twice, I would pick proper twice.
That doesn't sound like a bad roster. Fixa,
Oh.
Aim God, 2 propers, and someone.
Dude, for flex support, can I pick Backbone even though he's not on there?
Yeah.
Do I get money back
get
for
paid
picking
money?
Backbone? Yeah, I was gonna say, do I get paid money for picking Backbone? Backbone Zen. So this also depends on what we're gonna go into. Are we talking about going into Junker Queen meta? Are we talking about the meta we just saw? What are we talking about here?
Well, I think no matter what,
Well, you got to keep this.
I would pick the same tank. I would still pick Smurf.
So would I.
Smurf.
So would I, hands down.
Because why would I pick Reiner at 5 when I can get an I consider equally good tank, if not better, in Smurf, for $1 cheaper.
I can tell you why. I think
Tell me why.
Reiner's a better off tank player by a considerable margin. I think Reiner.
Yeah.
I think Reiner is not necessarily a sleeper pick, but I think he's definitely one that I would take Reiner. I would probably take Reiner Prophet and then try to fill around that.
Reiner proper, you mean?
That's
right?
what. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Reiner
Yeah.
proper, or
Yeah,
Reiner Prophet. Even. I mean, Prophet's look crazy.
he's so good, but
I
he's
think
not.
any of the top 3 flex DPS are fine right now. Like fine picks.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, honestly, I would even put Patty over Fleta right now.
Dude.
Like,
honestly, if I had to pick, I would pick Patty over most of the hit scan.
look at the hit skin.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about that. I just the $1.
I think if you don't pick Shy, then you might as well just go the $1. Yeah,
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, no, I was looking at it and I'm like,
DJ picks Kai.
Aunts? No, I pick Aunts.
You pick
in mine.
Ons? Oh.
I picked Smurf, Aunts, Prophet. I think I picked Monk and OG.
I pick
Split lane.
Patty over Ons just because we've seen Patty on more like Sojourn, Soldier.
Patty is flex for this sake.
unless you are in like a hard Widow meta or something.
Yeah, I don't think you
Then
pick Ons.
I don't think so either.
And with as much as I hate on Carpe, I just am not legally allowed to pick him.
I think Aunts has just looked outrageous on like the hard hits again, like Widow Ash, but that doesn't mean his other hit scan's ass. Like it's not bad. I've seen him on the stream play Tracer, and he has actually a really good Tracer.
Different
It's just
level
that
play.
he pounds on Tracer still.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
He's
be
got
honest.
the point is that he has the mechanics.
Who do you pick
There's
main?
just never been someone
Okay.
who was like, oh, let's put him over. You know what I mean?
So I could totally get behind picking Smurf. I think honestly, even for the I want to say pick Reiner and Proper and then fill around that. That's kind of what I was hoping to do. Reiner, Proper, I would pick Patty for my hit scan if possible. And then
No, you have to go off the chart.
You have to.
You have to.
I'm going Carpe.
I legally can't pick Carpe.
He's top 5 hit scan
Well,
all
then you-
time.
Yeah, so is Jinmu. Can I
then-
pick Jinmu?
All right.
Jinmu's
Yeah, you
top
can.
10.
Sorry, Jinmu's top 10. Then I think I do have to pick Ons there.
You have to pick
Ons.
Ons or Merit. Then
I think which leaves me the 2 bottom supports.
Yeah.
Aim God stuff.
To be fair, I do like Aim God a lot.
It's just that it was hard for me to make mine later on because I made mine left to right looking
Man,
over it.
is
It's
Monk
like-
really that much better than Aim God?
No.
Monk has looked pretty good when he's played, but so Aim
So
God
has
has
Aim
stepped
God.
up recently, and
Yeah.
Aim
So
God's
has
looked
Aim
really
God.
good too.
Am I
Honestly,
gonna pick 2 fusion players? Honestly,
I think I have to pick Aim God, Carpe, and Violet. Like Reiner, Carpe,
Nah,
Proper, Aim God.
that's
and
your
then
shock
Violet.
sim coming in.
yeah.
Oh.
Honestly,
And that's the thing. Looking at this list, I'd rather have Fixa than Violet or Shio.
Nah, Violet Lucio goes hard or something.
No, that's just copium.
I just want to have Violet because it's gonna do. Yeah, no, I don't want Violet. Never mind. Give me Ons.
yeah. I'm going
Violet-
Aim God OG. Honestly,
I'm actually just gonna go. I want Reiner, Shy, and I want Reiner, Shy, Proper, Izzyaki, and Funny Astro. Can we make that happen? Thanks.
really sorry you cannot actually.
No,
but
that's
why'd you go
by the way-
Izzyaki? You're gonna go over anyway. Just pick
have we
Shu.
stated
The
the budget
neck.
that it's supposed to be like
The
a $15
the neck.
budget.
Yeah,
How
$15
you
budget.
went with it?
$15
Yeah,
budget's
it's a
hard,
$15 budget, which is
Yeah,
why it's
really
tough,
hard.
right?
Yeah,
especially if you want
Uh,
to pick a top player.
So yeah, for me it's Smurf Carpe. Unfortunately, I mean Carpe's fine. I'm sure still. And then
He probably has the
Proper, Aim God,
mechanics.
OG.
Really, OG.
I said
Yeah.
I said mine. It's Smurf Aunts, proper, not profit, not proper, and then it's Monk OG. I think personally, out of these main supports, the best two have to be OG and
Oh yeah, and I think there's a huge gap
Funny
between the
Astro.
$4 and the
Like,
$3
yeah,
tier. There's a massive gap.
for the main supports at least, it's ridiculous.
All right.
Where it's like,
I mean,
it's hard.
Chio's not bad, right?
Yeah, but
Is that Chio?
Chio's not bad,
but
but he hasn't looked
he
too
hasn't
good
looked
either.
as good as the other two. All right, I'm gonna pull this off our screen. We've had this up there for long enough.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
I think
That was just
Ballsack
a
supports.
nice, interesting thing that Ballsack did. Good job, Ballsack.
that's a sentence that I don't think has ever been said before.
Well, it has now.
Unique sentence right there. Cool. What else is on our agenda down here? Our little Overwatch Discord. Do we want
I
to talk?
had an idea for us to
I
pick
think
some teams to try and do kind of what this whole week became about, and rework them.
all right.
Sign some players, drop some players, trade some players, and try and either take a bad team that isn't making playoffs, and try to make them good enough to make playoffs, or just rebuild them for
Can
the
I?
future going forward.
Okay. Can I rebuild a team instead of trying to make a bad team good, make a good team bad?
Oh God.
Ready?
No,
Ready?
Sure.
Here we go. Here we go.
That's not very hard.
You take
That's
SF
not very hard
Shock,
to do.
you sign me, and they lose. Done. That's it. Just sign me.
Well, no, you ride the
Yo.
bench.
No, okay, sorry.
Playing you is how they lose.
No, they have to drop all the others.
No, you sign me, you sign Promise Overwatch down there, you sign King
Oh.
L5.
There you go.
King L5, you
They need a Moyer player.
yeah, they need
At
to
that
get
point, we
Newman.
just-
Just get Newman in there. Get the old RTG gang back together. Get
go.
Itzia on the main support.
Dude, I've been
Oh my
talking to Itzia. We're gonna queue again. I love Itzia.
All right. But so make a roster good. What roster are you going to make better right now?
Personally, I would probably go for Toronto. Not Toronto.
I'll take Vancouver.
Titans. I thought I was
Oh, I was
gonna
gonna take
right.
fuck. Okay, you can have him. You can have him. I'll do something else. Do the real Fortnite dance. Do it right now. Get up out of your chair
No.
and do the Fortnite dance.
Do it right now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Amazing.
All right, Nacho, this is your idea. You go first.
All right. So I want to fix the fuel because I think the fuel actually do have a problem.
I can see that.
A little bit of an issue. They just are not getting the results they need, and I don't think a coaching change is really gonna solve it. I mean,
Everyone who
maybe it
talked
will,
to-
but that's
everyone
no
I
fun
talked
to
to
just
this
say
stage
sign a
was
new
like-
coach. You know.
Everyone I talked to the stage was like, Fuel are always slow to start and they get going. Well, they were slow to start
They
and
never
they were
got
slow
going.
to end. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Um, honestly, I would almost I wouldn't do it, but I would almost try and do the trade with do a trade with the Outlaws. I think if you could get Edison or not Edison, you'd have to drop Edison. Get Merit from them. He'd look really good on that team because they need a hit scan really bad. And then the Outlaws need a tank, a better tank that isn't Doom One Trick or Piggy. Sorry, Piggy. So you could probably move. Honestly, I would say almost Fearless over there.
But would they get value from getting Fearless though? Fearless hasn't looked as good as Hanbin this season.
No, he hasn't.
So
But
it's, we've seen Hanbin even play Monkey. It's like, it's a hard argument to make.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. That's tough because I do think Fearless has like potential there, but I think he's looked better than Piggy has.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I definitely see that, yeah.
So, all right. Interesting. That's an interesting.
For
take.
I guess
me-
that doesn't really fix the fuel, but I don't know.
I don't know how you fix the fuel at this point. I'm just gonna keep a stack. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was okay. DJ, you want to talk about how to fix the Vancouver Titans? Vancouver.
I think you need to get a better flex support. I don't think main support's the problem on that team, although Matsu hasn't looked good this season. He's historically been very good. I'm a Masa simp as well.
Me too.
Uh, your DPS line with Aspire and King looks good now.
Yeah.
Like not top in the league, but definitely like shock,
It's
like
res-
closer to Shockwave Aspire.
respectable.
I just
I
Mirror.
can't. I don't know how that team fumbles the bag so hard.
I mean,
Eh,
yeah.
So you'd get a better flex support. Who's a good free agent flex support right now?
Me.
I said good.
Oh.
Did you say good?
North
I'm trying to think.
Overwatch.
No, no, for real.
Oh, I have no clue. I don't.
Are there any like
NYXL already signed them all.
they did? What you do is you
Whoever's on
pull
O2 Blast
Jonak
right
out of
now.
retirement.
Pull Jonak out of retirement. Sign whoever's on O2 Blast right now. Who's playing
They don't
flex?
seem like they want to go into Korean direction. Probably
Uh,
you can probably steal Myungbong from New York.
that's true. That's true.
Who's you could probably steal Myungbong from New York, and then in the tank line. Ooh, that's hard. I could see this team realistically shooting a shot to get someone like Poco or Vestola, who's like on a lower tier team that's not seeing super much playtime.
I think Vestola would take that team and just fucking do great work with it. Vestola's crazy.
Exactly.
He's so good.
And
Vestola's
this
crazy good.
honestly makes him a lot better than
Grab the NFT
Eric.
king himself, Gator.
No, Gator's our main tank player.
Doesn't matter.
I think off tank players are gonna pick up on the Junker Queen a lot easier than min tank,
Agreed.
just because of the playstyle.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm debating on which team I want to fix. Looking at the Washington Justice, I kind of want to fix them, but I also want to fix
That's
London.
I don't think either of those teams
Ooh.
need fixing in this way.
No,
Actually,
no.
I
Okay.
think
Here-
you trying to fix London is more interesting.
So I think Washington Justice, okay, just hear me out. Just figure out what's happening right now. Like, it's not even like a player thing. I think it's actually just a like, I don't know if it's motivation or if it's coaching. There's just something weird going on. There's a disconnect.
We've already known that, but it's like, what do you
Yeah,
say?
I think
What
before you cut
changes
these
does that mean?
players, you have to give a coaching change a shot because like
Exactly.
these players are way too good to be doing this bad,
All right.
or you know,
So-
prove me otherwise.
London. Let's look at their team right now. They have Sparker, Shaxx, Backbone. Sparker and Shaxx DPS.
Hold on. Before we go too much farther
Oh,
with you,
sorry.
Hockey, I want to say, no, this is what you're saying.
Mhm.
Are you gonna think about this for the Junker Queen meta, or for like the future of this team? Because the way I'm
That's
looking at
true.
it, Junker Queen meta is Sojourn Genji. We
Yeah.
know that this team has one
Okay.
of the best Sojourns
That's-
in the world and one of the Genjis in the world.
Yeah, I don't even know if I go that far.
So
So here's what I'm thinking. It's double main support, right?
yes,
It's double main support. They have Admiral Landon. Admiral really is one of the supports of all time.
honestly, I think that they might just try Shaxx. It's coming. I'm not. I'm not gonna actually. I'm gonna cut myself off before I go off topic.
Okay, so here's what I think. I sure hope either Backbone just been grinding the fuck out of Genji in game and in a very sexual way. Just putting that out there. I think that either Backbone's got to be grinding it or they sign somebody who plays Genji. They got to, right?
You know who's a good free agent European Genji player right now?
Who's a good free agent European Genji player, DJ?
Actually, I don't know if he's European or not, and I might sound really dumb for saying that now. EQO.
That's true. EQO is
Spain, I think.
I want to say Spanish.
I don't
Maybe
know.
not. I don't know.
how
Is
he looks, but
Israeli.
Is he?
okay.
Good for him.
But
Israel and Colombia somehow.
either way, EQO is like nuts,
Yeah,
and he's
so-
free agent. We've seen his Genji before.
And he's played with Poco before.
He has one of the
He
plays
has
all
played
time.
with Poco.
I think we have not seen enough Poco this season. I think Poco's going to come in on the Junker Queen and be absolutely amazing. I honestly think that Hottie might have a good job or might do a good job on Junker Queen as well.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I think the tank
see,
line is
right?
fine.
Hottie
My biggest worry is the double main support. Sign Slime. Sign Slime. Get him in there.
think slime would be way too expensive
I think slime would be
for
too
this
good.
game.
Okay, but if they could sign slime,
Plus he's green.
sign a real Genji player that isn't Backbone. Now don't get me wrong, Backbone's May, great. His Zenyatta, fire. This Genji is really one of the Genjis that was played in the league.
Needs some help.
I think from all the Genji we've seen this season, he has been the worst.
No,
by far.
Mirror.
Yeah, Mirror's been worse.
Well, Mir had one really, really bad performance. He's had mediocre performances. Mirror's performance is really fucking bad.
Yeah,
But
no, I think
Backbone has been doing a little bit more for every game. Just a tiny bit more than that, consistently.
but Mirror really did
Mirror
play
hater.
one. Mirror did, yeah, dude, totally 100%.
I can
Okay,
get behind it after watching him, and I'm
To
a
be-
Titans fan.
to be
I can get
fair,
behind that.
I was the biggest Mirror fan when he was playing Zarya. Mirror Zarya is extremely clean. He's an extremely good Zarya player. He's not playing Zarya right now. that's
Zarya's
my
not
thing.
meta right now.
Exactly. Yeah. Is Ryan meta right now? Look at Hottie.
It depends how you play it. Look
Look
how
at
he's doing,
Hottie.
yeah.
Exactly.
Because of the way they play it.
Got a point.
You really
Exactly.
think you can make a Zarya comp work with
No,
Zen in the game?
fuck no. No, there's no way.
Exactly.
No, there's
Exactly.
no way.
There's ways you can enable Orion.
Yeah. You can also just have Hottie on your team who's if Ryan could work, he's gonna make it work. All right, while we're talking about this, by the way, Nacho DJ, please pull up the Pickems so you can see what I'm seeing because I can't screen share. I think that's the next thing we're gonna do. But I just want to finish my point on fixing the London Spitfire.
Okay.
Like I said, I think you get one more main support in there, and I think that you get a Genji player and
Rocket.
Huh?
Rocket off a Wisp.
Oh yeah.
Dude, he killed it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
You get some players.
Wait,
in
is
there
he 18? I don't even know if he's 18. He might
Fair
not
enough.
be 18. Maybe that's
But get a Genji player in there. Get someone who plays more than May at that really high level. I think Backbone's a great player, but there's got to be some European. Get Shadowburn out of retirement. Get Shatter 2K. I don't care.
there you go.
Pull out one of the original Genji gods. Bring back aimbot Calvin. Make him play Genji. Can't be. It can only be better.
Yeah, why not?
All right. So do you guys have the Pickems up? Because I'll put them up on screen.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Pickems are up on your screen right now. So if you notice, it starts with pick 2 teams from each region to advance to the Summer Showdown. Bonus points for the winner. Can we just agree that it's going to be Shot Glads?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. It's not that difficult to pick because there's like 8 teams that make it in NA and 4 that make it in APAC. You could pick Shaq Glads. I picked Glads Rain. They just have to make it into the tournament at the end.
Oh, in the tournament? Okay, sure. But
Okay, yeah,
I think
Shot
bonus
Glads are the
points for the
safest
winner.
pick.
If we
if
want to
it's
make
not-
it to the winner, I'd probably say Glads have to be the must pick.
Glads are 100% the must pick.
Yeah.
I picked
Glads,
Rain because I have faith in Rain versus Shock in playoff scenarios.
that's fair. I think the safe pick is Shock though, because they have been turning up. Now you look over at the East region.
That's Thirsty None.
The East
I
region.
think the first pick here actually has to be Spark.
I would agree.
I picked Spark Soul for mine personally.
Okay. I might get disowned here,
I'm gonna
but
say
I
it
would
too.
almost.
He's gonna say Fusion.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Are the Fusion actually maybe the best option there? Otherwise,
I think Soul is actually the better option.
my
But
heart says Soul.
My heart says Soul, but I think Philly, dude.
I have this horrible feeling that Philly might actually be good.
I know that hurts me a little bit on the inside.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to pick Philly. Sorry,
I
DJ,
think
you're outnumbered.
Fusion are just way too individualistic.
Oh yeah, they're streaky.
Style.
Yeah,
Not
they're definitely
streaky.
inconsistent.
It's more of the fact that they want MN3 has to kill something, and if he isn't Zest needs to kill something, and if he isn't Bellsria, he needs to kill something,
Dude,
and if he isn't
Lemon
Aim God,
3
he needs to
went
kill
crazy,
something.
and they're going to continue going crazy.
Exactly.
Hashtag Lemon 3.
They're going crazy, but I don't think they're going to continue going crazy. You have to keep in mind, Stalker looked outrageous in the Sojourn.
I do.
If they get one
agree.
more tournament
just
run like they
more of-
had this time.
It's
Okay,
just more me
think
trusting in Soul to fix their issues.
I think
than Fusion
DJ has
continue
changed my
being
mind.
Outrageous.
DJ has changed my mind. I think Soul is probably the safer or better pick here. But if Philly do it again, goddamn, I actually might be a little bit of a Philly fan after that.
No, I agree. No,
I'm not.
I wouldn't.
No, I
But
wouldn't.
I would agree Soul is probably the safer pick.
Opinions.
But I think the big nuts pick, like the call your shot thing, would be to say Philly.
All right.
But I think Spark,
But
Dynasty,
I feel
Dragons,
good
and
about
Fusion
Spark.
can make the tournament.
I think Spark is a must pick. All right. Let's move on to our week 1 picks because I'm not doing week 2, 3, 4 picks right now.
It's week 1 for NA.
Week 1
That's what we
NA.
should do.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yep,
Apex next week.
Yeah, week 1 NA.
And next week, the week
'Kay.
after.
Let's talk about Florida versus Spitfire here.
I have
Okay.
Mayhem.
You have Mayhem?
You have Mayhem?
I think with the Junker Queen comp, again,
Yeah, I think you're right.
Backbone has to play Genji, assuming that that's going to be the meta. I think Sparker's going to do a lot. He's going to go head-to-head with Xe on the Sojourn. But I think Checkmate diffs Backbone 10 out of 10 times on Genji.
I agree. I also think they're going to have a Junker Queen diff.
That's a good point. And I'll agree with it, yeah.
All right. I think it'll be what? Maybe 3-1.
I have a 3-2. I
You
can
think-
see a 3-1 happening.
I think it's 3-1.
I think 3-1.
I think that it's just going to be like I don't know the maps. I don't know if we're able to see them right now, but I think that we're just
It
going to
might
get
even be
like...
I think that one might even be a 3-0.
Well, I just have faith that we're going to get like a map that London can force their Orion comp on. And they're going to do some wacky shit and
Fair
win
enough.
it. But that's
Yeah,
all
but
I'm gonna
that's
be able
one
to
map.
give 'em,
That's
a
one
map or
map.
two.
All right. Let's talk about. Hold on. Let me double check that we're on screen here. Yeah, we're all good.
It's New York versus Outlaws.
New York
next.
versus Outlaws. Can we just give Outlaws like a 3-1?
What
I
are you
have a
talking about?
3-1.
This is after they trade Pelican to the
Shut up,
Excelsior, and
Danteh.
it's Yaki Pelican versus.
Yaki Pelican sounds like disgusting though.
Yucky
Yeah, it's
Pelican.
really weird.
Okay, Glads
Uh,
versus Fuel. Okay, wait, are we good on 3-1?
Hold on, New York
Outlaws?
versus
I'm
Outlaws.
fine with 3-1. I would have gone 3-0, but yeah.
I said 3-1 because the last time these two teams played, I went to 5 maps.
Yeah, I think it's 3-1. I think Houston drops the spaghetti on one map just because they're Houston against
That's
the lower
fair.
seed team.
It's Outlaws.
Well, hold on. Junker Queen meta? Who do we think picks up Junker Queen for the Outlaws?
I don't think it matters. I think the Junker Queen's gonna look good either way.
I'm 90% sure it's going to be Piggy, but
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Piggy, but not 100%. So let's talk about this Glads versus Fuel. Can we just say 3-0 Glads?
I said 3-0.
Yeah.
I said 3-0.
Okay, cool. I'm glad we're on the same
Yeah.
page.
this
Great.
is where we're going to eat our words, and they're going to
Yeah,
somehow
Dallas.
won.
lose the game
Yeah, Dallas is gonna come back and 3-0. Yeah,
because
uh-huh.
Hanma
No, I
just has an
think-
insane Junker Queen, and Sparkle gets to play Genji, and et cetera, et cetera.
Hanbin.
If this is
Okay.
any meta for the Fuel to look good, it's one of
Dude.
the hard Genji meta.
We've been saying that every time there's a new meta. We're like, oh, this is the Fuels meta, man.
But
and they
again,
just-
they haven't had a Sojourn player.
Yeah.
Pretty much all stage. Which is why
Alright.
Which is insane. They
Conflict
should
them.
have a Sojourn player.
Let's
they have
talk
2 of the best hit scans in the world, in theory. But
Mm,
neither
in
of them
theory.
are 2 of the best hit scans in the world.
Agreed.
So,
All right. Let's move on because I think we're all just in agreement and going in circles again.
yeah.
Let's talk about
Yeah.
Rain versus Uprising. I don't necessarily think that one's gonna be. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be close. I think Rain just stomps that.
I said 3-1 because it's regular season Rain, which are very different beasts than
That's
playoffs
true.
Rain.
That is
and
different than playoff
Boston
Rain.
was looking better.
Plus, it's
I
the
don't
beginning
think
of a
they're
stage.
Yeah.
Rain
better
always looks
enough.
tricky.
Let's
start
get,
off.
I think
okay,
they're
I'll
better
give it a
enough, but-
3-1. Shock versus
Yeah.
Justice. Can we just
3-0.
go Shock 3-0?
3-0.
Great.
I
Defiant
hate, it's
versus
just not
Please.
even that I like the
dude.
Shock
the-
winning this. I just don't want Washington to win.
Dude,
I hate. Yeah, Justice.
first off, I like Shock winning this, but also I think Justice is just bad right now for some reason.
It's horrible.
Okay.
Actually, no. Okay, before we go too far, I'm gonna change it. I think Justice are gonna win. This is their beginning of the stage. This is where they do their thing, where they make everyone be like, "Holy fuck, Washington look like a good team again. Holy fuck, let's buy all the stock." And then they're gonna shit the bed the next game against Paris.
That's fair, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
It's playing
Yeah.
out in my mind. It's playing out in
Sadly,
my
I
mind.
can
I'm
I
gonna
can
look like
see it.
I can see it
It's a
happening.
nightmare, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna look
I
like
don't
a
think it's
genius when
gonna
it
happen.
happens.
Okay, you're gonna look like one of the Overwatch people of all time.
Yeah, you
Thanks.
look like something.
You're gonna look stupid. Doesn't matter what you do.
I always look stupid.
By the way, DJ, you have definitely lost weight.
That's besides the
Looking
point.
good, gamer.
Talk about Overwatch.
Okay,
Them weights are really doing you good.
Toronto dude, Battle for Canada.
Oh
Toronto.
shoot.
I mean, yeah,
Toronto.
Toronto, but how are we giving Vancouver a
3-1.
map?
I said 3-1.
All right, I'm
I
down.
think Vancouver decide to, they have
See,
King on their roster now.
Toronto can beef the easiest of games.
But
So
but
But can,
Hisu,
but can
the
Ti-
Hisus lease.
but can Titans win a map even if they're beefing it?
hey, they got King.
That's
King's
true.
alright.
I mean, they have King, who's a good Genji player. They have a Spy,
Maybe
who's
they'll.
a
You know
great
what?
Soju
Maybe.
player.
I want to give Vancouver Titans 2 on that one.
I think
It's not Friday
Mirror.
yet. They might announce a new tank player or something tomorrow.
I think Mirror is gonna be their team's Junker Queen player for some reason. and
I
it's gonna work.
actually agree with you,
It's gonna
Dude, I
be
could
like
see that.
dude. You know what?
It's
If
gonna-
Mirror comes out on the off tank, if Mirror comes out on tank, I think it's gonna be the best look for Mirror.
it's
That's-
gonna be something like
Yeah.
Outlaws recently this season where they've had Danteh, who comes in and plays Doomfist at a very high level, but it's one dimensional. They're gonna
Yeah.
do the same thing, and it's gonna go to a map where they can't force the Junker Queen, for example. I don't know if that's gonna be a map or not. And Contenders has been every map, but might be different in Overwatch League. And he's just not gonna be able to make it work.
Fair enough. All right, moving on to the next game: London Spitfire versus the Boston Uprising.
I said London lose it.
Really, I want to say London win that, but close. It's a 3-2
It's
either
the-
way.
It's the Genji again for me.
Yeah,
I
never mind.
don't trust the Boston DPS line though.
Okay, but I trust them more
I've
than I trust the backbone
trusted them.
Genji.
I've trusted them more since Striker left, which is
3-2.
really fucking weird to
Oh,
say.
true.
I say 3-2 either way. Boston 3-2.
That's fine.
Okay, Justice
Like,
versus
didn't we?
Eternal. Man,
This one's tough.
can
I
both
hate
teams
map.
lose?
Justice.
Can both
I have a
teams
5
lose?
map with the Justice winning.
They're gonna try. They're
It's
both
gonna look
try to
it's
lose.
gonna look just like Titans against
Yeah.
the Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outlaws versus Glads. What are we thinking?
3-0.
3-0.
Gladiators are gonna be 3-0 against
I
every team, but
I don't think that was a question.
Rain and
Rain
Shock,
and shock.
Yeah.
That's
who
it.
might go 3-1,
Okay.
maybe 3-2.
Paris versus Vancouver.
I said August 14th buff. This is the Titans' first and potentially only win of the season.
3-2.
Yep,
Yeah.
3-2 Titans winning.
All right. Let's talk about the Shock Mayhem game. Shock 3-0.
I said 3-1.
Shock 3-1. Yeah.
3-1. All right. I'll give Florida a map here.
No reason they can't.
Dallas versus NY.
I said 3-1 Fuel, but I could see this a 3-2 Fuel or even a 3-2.
I want to
New
say
York.
I want to see 3-2 Fuel. I don't know why.
Last time these teams played, it went to 5 maps.
I don't know
It's
why.
just
I
like
just want
it
to
was
give
just
it
a
to Fuel.
Yaki show.
You know what? I actually almost want to pick New York to win this one,
You know what?
but
Fuck
that's
it.
just my fuel.
I'm down to clown.
disdain.
I'm
coming
down
out.
to clown. Fuck it. Let's go. Let's take
Yeah, but
NY.
last time we made power rankings, I was not allowed to put New York up over the Fuel.
Well, that's just. I think I said then, as well, that it's more about how New York looks against every other team, more
All
so
right.
than
But they started looking good at the end of the last stage.
yeah.
Like
Alright.
not closing out the series, but it was always like
Fuel just don't look
they
good.
Fuel just don't look good.
All right.
Yeah, I still just want to
Just-
credit New York.
It's just that Fuel players just have that map 5 experience more.
You know what? Someone flip
You
a
see-
coin. I think we just flip a coin for this one. That's
You just Google it. Google flip a coin.
Yeah.
Heads Fuel, tails New York.
all right. I'll do that in just a second. I'm gonna put our faces back on the screen for a second. Everybody look at DJ. Look at how much better he looks. DJ is single, by the way, and looking for a girlfriend. So just putting
Hey
that out
girls,
there,
let's go talk about Pokemon to him because he's so desperate to hear about Pokemon.
dude. Yeah,
I'm not desperate to talk about Pokemon. I'm just tired of seeing boobies on my timeline.
Since when?
Yeah, don't
Since
follow enough there
when?
then. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna put up the coin
Because
flip.
they're advertising it as Pokemon.
Heads is who, tails is who. What are we thinking?
Heads Fuel? Question mark.
Heads
Yeah, sure.
fuel,
Heads
yeah.
fuel.
Okay.
Tails.
Oh,
New York in the 5.
New York.
coin
win.
likes my idea.
Great. Last one. 3-0.
We should do marbles next time.
I don't want to do. Okay, yes, we should.
We're
but
doing
no.
Marvels next time.
Okay,
Okay.
you're just gonna share your screen. Then I'm not gonna download. Okay.
I will.
Atlanta Rain 3-0 Defiant. Yeah.
Rain Toronto. I said 3-1.
You-
Again, early stage Rain. As even as the biggest Rain fan probably
All
on this
right.
podcast.
Okay, no. If you're saying 3-1,
Rain always looks shaky at the beginning of the stage.
if you're saying that as the biggest Rain simp, I will take your
It's
word
like
for it.
Rain do the same thing that Dallas do, where they look shaky at the beginning of the season. They kick it up to 11 during a playoff.
Are we good to send it then?
I think we're sending it full
Okay,
send.
it
Yeah, I
is
like
sent. Full sent. Predictions are saved. Great. All right. Well, I will bring us back to our overlay here, and Nacho, you want to get us out of here because I think that's our entire schedule for the day.
I burped.
Yeah.
Do it
That's
louder next
about it.
time.
I'll try.
Okay,
All right.
all of
Well-
our Twitters are up on the screen right now. You can
Yep.
see with our profile pictures. Yeah, Nacho, get us out of here.
Thanks for watching, everybody. If you have thoughts, ideas, let us know in the comments. Follow us on Twitter. You know the deal. It's late. We need to go to bed. Some of us got
Smash
work
that
in
like.
the morning. Smash the like, please.
Like, subscribe,
Uh,
do the whole thing.
All the
I don't
gamer
know.
words.
Subscribe on Patreon. We don't even have one yet. Do it anyway.
But do it, yeah. Find
Subscribe to the Yard on Patreon, actually.
It's a good idea.
I don't even
Alright.
know who they are, but they're not sponsoring them, so don't plug them.
Yeah, but I watch their podcast, so do it anyway. Everybody wave goodbye
Thanks,
to
guys.
DJ. Wave goodbye to
Goodbye,
DJ.
DJ.
Everybody
He's
wave
over there in the
bye.
shadows. Bye.